Well, a very good evening. Welcome back to this continued coverage of our India-Australia series. The last test match now seems to be intriguingly poised. India finishing the day on 62, having lost both its openers. The important loss being that of Rohit Sharma. He was out in the first session of the match, and also now India at 62 for 2 after chasing Australian total of 369. And in fact, many would believe that India managing to restrict Australia quite well. Rookie medium pacers who've not had much of an experience on international cricket, they're doing well. In fact, the top three wicket takers from the Indian side were the ones who hardly have any test experience. I'm joined by the Tribune's sports editor, Rohit Mahajan. Rohit, quite a satisfying day, I would assume.
Yeah, overall, I think they would have been much happier if Rohit Sharma had not thrown away his wicket.
Right.
And if they had gone to, if they had to start the next day 62 for 1 instead of 62 for 2, I think they would have been happier. But overall, considering everything, the attack they had, they'd be happy with that. And with Rahane at crease, with Pujara, India's two best batsmen, the two best test batsmen who can bat time, they would be reasonably confident of doing well tomorrow.
Also, talking about the bowlers, Rohit, Washington Sundar, Natarajan and Shardul Thakur, the top three wicket takers, not much of a test experience but doing exceedingly well.
Yeah. In fact, two of them were making their debut. The third, Shardul Thakur, had played one test before and he had bowled only about 10 balls in that over, in that match, because he got injured there. So, and India lost Saini yesterday. He bowled about 7 overs yesterday. So, after that, restricting Australia to 369 is a good job, and they would be very happy with that.
In fact, yesterday when we were talking, you said if they restrict them to around 350, then India has a good chance.
I said that they would be happy. They would be satisfied if they did that. And as I said yesterday as well, if before the match Rahane had been told that with this attack and with Saini also to get injured, would you be happy with 369? He would have said okay. And so I hope tomorrow, if they play the way they can play, they should reach at least 300 and bat time and bat long, and make sure that Australia has work to do in the second innings. So that's crucial from their point of view.
Also, crucial would be the weather, I would assume.
Yeah, that too. But because the drainage is extremely good on these grounds, so if it doesn't rain very hard and very long, it can get the stadium can be made fit to play in a short period of time. It didn't happen today, but it can happen if it doesn't rain long and hard. So, but the bowling is really world class. The number 3 first change bowler is Pat Cummins. He's clearly the world's best bowler, and they have Starc and they have Hazelwood. So it's a formidable attack, and they are very consistent with their lengths. So it would be a tough grind tomorrow for Indian batsmen.
And also something about the track. I mean, it seems to be quite bouncy, as is the Brisbane track, but not much of a swing. It's a little surprising or expected?
Yeah, I think it's typical Brisbane track. We saw, I think, Shardul Thakur swung a few deliveries well, and Australia, they keep it a little shorter. Their length is a little shorter, so they don't really go in for swing. In fact, and the length that Cummins bowled at is generally short of length, which attacks the body at about this high. So swing is not really a factor with this length. So so that's their strength. They are tall, 6'4", 6'5", very tall bowlers who release the ball from a great height, and they get the ball into the batsman. The batsman has to play, and if it straightens, it takes the bat's edge, as happened with Gill today. It was a beautiful ball by Cummins. Angled in, he seemed to have done everything right. He seemed to have got behind the ball. but it took the edge and he was caught.
So one would expect that tomorrow India will have to face a lot of pacey stuff from the Aussies.
Yeah, of course, and of course, Lyon is a very fine bowler, close to getting 400 Test wickets, and he's a very experienced bowler, and he got Rahane very cheaply on the last day of the Sydney Test with a ball that seemed innocuous. So you cannot rule out Lyon, because after 3 top-class pace bowlers, an Indian batsman might feel that, okay, now this might be easier and might relax mentally. That should not happen. Lyon is a very fine bowler.
That did actually happen with Rohit Sharma, I guess. He fell for the trap.
Yeah, I mean, Rohit threw away his wicket. He seriously needs to figure out how he wants to play in Test cricket. He cannot go and throwing his wicket away in his 30s or 40s or 50 odd. He's done it so many times in this series.
And that too in such a crucial Test match.
Yes, and vice captain of the team, and one of the most senior batsmen in the team. And I think in terms of time, he's probably the most senior. He made his, I think, debut in 6 or 7 maybe. So he's the most senior batsman in the team in terms of when he made his debut. Of course, he debuted after Pujara in Test cricket, but he cannot go on throwing away his wicket.
So now tomorrow all boils down to the fact how Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane play.
Exactly, and then of course we can hope for a good knock from Pant also, if not a cameo, then maybe 100. You never know with players of that talent and that ability and then that mental frame. So if everything clicks for him, he can get you a quick 50 or a quick 80 or 100. I hope that we have good competitive cricket tomorrow, and that India doesn't dominate completely or Australia doesn't dominate us, that we have a good competitive day of cricket the whole day. And of course, I hope that India will do well.
Thank you so much, Rohit. So clearly, good days of play expected tomorrow. India, the match intriguingly poised. They've lost both the openers, but still they managed to restrict Australia to 369. Now it remains to be seen how the innings shape up tomorrow, particularly the first 2 sessions. Those are going to be very important in the context of this Test match. We'll keep on providing you updates. We'll also keep on providing you the analysis at the end of the day's play. We'll keep on continuing to do that. You can also log on to our website, tribuneindia.com, and also you'll find some updates, cricket updates on our social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter. Meanwhile, thanks for watching.